Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Fire in the Sky, our version of an angel deck. We've got the flying turkeys along with removals and small sweepers, plus some life gain enchantments that can keep us in a fight if we're trading blows. Our flying men can end up being victims of our own sweeper, but we have a way to make sure we don't lose men to the burning sweepers. There's a little bit of card draw to help power our hand and keep pressuring the opponent until the end of the game. We start off with 4 copies of Authority of the Consuls, a nifty little enchantment that makes the opponent's men enter tapped. That lets us get in for damages even if they try to play out blockers. As a bonus, we'll also gain a life every time they land one of their men. Case of the Uneaten Feast is more life gain. This time, we gain life when we play out one of our men or generate a token. The life gain is actually critical for one of our angels, but we'll get to that later. The bonus with the case is that once we've solved it, we can sacrifice it to be able to play out men we have in the grave. Come back for seconds? Yes, please. Crystal Barricade is our solution to the burning spells that damage all men in play. With one of these in play, our men become immune to damage spells, and we can fire off our Burning Fury, and none of our men will perish from our own cards. As a bonus, the Barricade gives us hexproof to avoid having anything aimed at our face. Our precious, precious face. Chainsaw is a great little removal that sticks around to boost our flying men and enhance the damage we throw at the opponent. Every time something dies, whether it's ours or theirs, the chainsaw gets a rev counter, and that serves to boost the power of whoever picks it up. Pyroclasm is a little sweeper that is meant to clear out tokens or any opposing men with 2 toughness or less. We can use it in combination with other burn to take down a bigger enemy if we need something gone. This was intended to take down small men, but the matchmaker has had other plans. In practice, we've rarely been in games where this has cleared the opponent's board. In the future, expect this to be turned into Split Up. Boros Charm is a utility card with 3 options that we can use at a moment's notice. We can use it to hit an opponent or a planeswalker for 4 damage and for only 2 mana. Or we can give our permanents indestructible for a turn. This option blanks removal or an opposing sweeper that destroys. And finally, we can give one of our men double strike for the turn. There are instances where the double strike makes one of our men lethal and lets us end a game a turn earlier. Angel of Vitality is the first of our flying chickens. It comes down for 3 mana and immediately lets us gain an additional point of life whenever we gain life. And if we have 25 life or more, the angel becomes a 4/4. Getting to 25 life with all the life gain we have is rather easy, so it often is in its larger size. Chubby angels for the win, and don't ask her to lose weight. Inspiring Overseer is another one of our angels. This one enters and gains us a life as well as draws us a card. The only thing we need from angels is for them to get in for damages. And that's all we want from the Overseer. Damages, bro. Damages. Brotherhood's End is another fiery sweeper that we'll use to hit all men in play for 3 damage. This will wipe out most early men, but if we've got a Crystal Barricade in play, our men will laugh off the damage. As a bonus, we can use this to wipe out artifacts that are 3 mana or less. Exemplar of Light is our most powerful angel. It gets a counter every time we gain life. The first time in turn that it gets a counter, we also get to draw a card. With the life gain we have, this can easily be triggered on our turn, as well as during the opponent's turn for extra card draws. The extra ammo we draw lets us keep pressing the opponent. For lands, we're playing 2 Mirex, the special land that can generate token men. 2 Fountainport, the special land that can let us make tokens or sacrifice tokens for card draw. 4 Inspiring Vantage, the Boros land that enters play untapped early. 4 Elegant Parlor, the Boros Surveil land. 6 Mountains, and 6 Plains. Playing the deck is rather simple, almost mono-red simple. Our early turns are dedicated to our early life gain enchantments or our 2 drops. A turn 3 angel will be our first threat that hopefully we can follow up with one of our exemplars. Our top end is able to end the game if we've had a decent setup. They can often get to 6/6 or bigger and can dominate the sky. In grindy games, don't be afraid to sacrifice a case to be able to play out our fallen angels from the grave. It can be backbreaking if we've been able to force the opponent to use up their removals. Keep a Boros Charm up if you suspect the opponent has a sweeper, but don't be afraid to fire it off if Double Strike can take them down. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Smooth AF number 90. Smooth AF, real smooth. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander that has a sweeper and a case. We've got our top end as well and a charm. The sweeper should keep us in the fight. Keep your pants on. Well, this game is wildly entertaining. I mean, look at all the action. That's a commune with Evil, a rather useful card for Reanimator. You dump all the cards you want to reanimate in the grave and keep your reanimation spell. But in this case, they got nothing. Our first play is our top end. This is clearly not how things are supposed to go. We've got plenty of removals, so if they'd have had any men, we would have put them in a pine box and dug a hole. They used a removal to throw a big guy in their grave. All that's left is a reanimation spell, and they'll have something too big on board to hit with our removals. Nice. Our Surveil land shows us an authority. We might as well keep it and gain a bit of life when they eventually get something on board. They drop an arena to get card draw, but it also hits them for 1 damage for every card they get to draw with it. Our Angel of Vitality will get us to 25, so we'll have a 4/4 Angel, and we can keep the charm up in case of removals. They do have a removal, but it doesn't target. That's no fun. We'll let the Overseer go since it's the smallest of the two. That's something we can snipe. We really can't let it stay on board. It'll reanimate the dino they have in the grave. Damages, bro. Damages. There's the reanimation spell we knew would be coming, and they'll get their dino in play for cheap. They even add another monster to their side. What a lovely turn of events. We draw a Crystal Barricade, which could help absorb some of the damage when they come in. They do have 20 power on board, and our removals are designed to smash small early men. Next, we'll equip our Angel and get in for hits. We've got them down to 1 turn unless they have a way to gain life, or they snipe our Flying Turkey. They throw a Voldemort into the grave with a lively dirge, and I'm sure they're thinking their party is just getting started. We get another vitality, and that'll up the amount of life we gain. They do not have enough to take us out. Voldemort will not be able to save them. Rakdos joins up is going to pull Voldemort out of his pine box, but he'll enter tapped and gain us 6 life. We don't even need to block. We can take the damages, and all their men are now tapped. GG's, bro. GG's. This is ZZ Top. No, wait, it's Triple Z, younger brother of Triple H. We get a Shuffler special for this one, with a case and a Pyroclasm as our playables. We do have a pair of 3 drops along with our top end. We do have a Surveil land to help us dig for a 3rd land. Keep your hopes up. Did we stumble across a mono red? Are we in for a joyride or a bump in the road? We draw a 3rd land and we'll play it out. It's a Surveil land after all. Our Surveil land shows us another Surveil land. At this point, we can't say no to more lands. They load up their board with men, but if you have a keen eye, you'll notice they all have 2 toughness or less. Our Surveil land shows us a Crystal Barricade. That will be useful against mono red. Next up, we'll yell out Flame On and fire off the Pyro, and their squad of angry little men will have to eat it. Eat it like a pie. Are they all men and no pump? That's too bad for them. We'll go with the Angel of Vitality this turn, for the extra life gain. Unfortunately, they've got removal lined up, but we still gain the life anyways. They play out a Forge, and that means an extra point of damage from the token. That's enough pressure to worry me. That token will grow in power from here until the end of the game. We'll have to go with our top end, the Exemplar. We'll get a counter from gaining a life and draw a card. And that's what we needed. A Brotherhood's End. We can use it to take out their Forge. They send in their squad into the waiting arms of an angel. I thought they'd have a removal lined up, but they pumped their guy and tapped themselves out. We'll give a block and eat one of their men. That land is huge. We can fire off the Brotherhood's End and play out a Barricade as well. They'll have to take out the Barricade to be able to dish out direct damage to the Angel, and I don't think they can do that with only 2 cards. If we get the second Barricade down, the game is over. Our men will be immune to any burn spells, and we have hexproof as well. We'll land our second Barricade, and that should about seal the deal. All our men are burn-proof, and we draw an Authority. That will negate their forge tokens if they get another forge. GG's, bro. Extra cheese. This is Shiny Benny, shiny like a new penny. Square up, bro. We get a 4-lander to start this one with a couple of our sweepers and an overseer. Our land situation is kind of tricky, but it should work. Keep your pants on. They play out an authority on us. Blocking will be made difficult, but so far they haven't dropped any men. We draw our own authority, but this turn has to go to the overseer. It's a bit of card draw, as well as our first attacker. Get in there, overseer. Start watching stuff. We started off with a 4-lander, and we still have a 4-land hand. Nice. We draw a chainsaw right on time. We can use it to snipe their spider, and we can play out the authority as well. Good thing we're drawing a lot of lands. Wouldn't want to put too much pressure on the opponent. At least we've got some token-generating lands to help out our cause. They play out a brawler, which is very bad news. We've got problems that are going to get bigger and bigger. Well, we aren't going to win by sitting and watching. Let's get in there for hits. This is a race that's not going to be easy to win. That's a giant Hydra coming in. Luckily it enters tap, so we don't have to worry about it just yet. Lucky for us, they turned their blocker sideways. Thanks, bro. Good looking out. We drew an Exemplar. That's our play for the turn. It'll enter tapped, but at least we got it. And the Exemplar draw got us a vitality for more life gain. Get in there, my flying turkeys. At the moment, we have 11 power to their 15, and we have more ways to gain life than them. If they play out more men, we might have enough to get them. An innkeeper's talent is going to help them, but not really all that much. We have 1 turn left, talent or no talent. We draw another Vitality, which is fine. We'll play it out for the life gain and pump the Exemplar. That charm is huge. We've got them this turn. Let's get in there in. All right, the double strike is one of these. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the shark man bite. GG's, bro. This is Warlock Enjoyer. I'm pretty sure his mom needs help with naming her children. We get a shuffler special with a case, a barricade, and a chainsaw we can play out. We'll need more lands for the Overseer and the Sweeper. Let's give this a shot. What could go wrong? Keep. We miss on drawing a land, and that is going to hurt. Let's get our barricade down and at least gain a life. It looks like they don't like our wall. 0/4 men are freakish, aren't they? Scary and full of potential. They drop a great door, so reanimation shenanigans then. Surprise, surprise, they drop a huge dino in their grave. We get a third land, and this turn will be an Overseer turn. They activate their door yet again, but it looks like they don't have a reanimation spell just yet. I'm pretty sure I have never seen this guy in Reanimator builds before, but it does kind of make sense. We'll take out their 1/1 with our chainsaw. We really need the additional pump the chainsaw will give one of our men. They burn a cut down on our barricade. What's up with that? Do they need to be able to target us for some reason? There's the reanimation spell, and they'll get their dino out of the grave, and he'll be ready for action on their next turn. Lucky for us, they didn't have something else to drop along with that beefy dino. A vitality is the best we can do. How nice that the matchmaker keeps giving us Reanimator opponents. They fire off a removal that hits them for 3 as well. It's a gift of pain they give us, but their removal can't be allowed to land. Let's charm it up in here. They send in their dino, but now that we have indestructible, we can block at least 4 of the damage. We draw an Overseer and we'll play it out. And the draw gets us a Barricade. We'll play it out too, as we'll need all the life we can get. We drop them down to 9, and with the chainsaw that gives us 8 damage on board. We need 1 more point to close the game out, and we have to hope they don't have more removals. They tap out for a Virtue, that makes it GG's. If they attack in, we block, and the chainsaw gets another rev counter. If they don't attack in, we hit for 8, and a single point of damage wins it for us. The moment of truth. Are they coming in or staying put? They must not see it. They send in their dino. We'll block with the Barricade and soak up some of the damage, as well as add another rev counter. They killed themselves by swinging in. GG's, bro. Extra cheese. This is Rich Moss with jersey number 02. Rich but not happy anyways. Can't buy love, am I right, bro? We get an all-white shuffler special. Any third land would bail us out here. We've got 4 cards that are 3 mana or less. Keep your pants on. Have we drawn another mono-red matchup? They come in and we'll block. If they use a card on our wall, that's fine. They were in a hurry to get the wall in the grave. They buried it. Their follow-up play is a squee. That would have been bad, but he comes in tapped, so he'll have to sit and wait his turn. We draw another Barricade, and that's all we can do. We're going to go down in flames. They come in, and we'll block the most damage we can. They fire off a Goblin Surprise, and that will take down our Barricade. All we need is 2 red sources, and we can clear the board. We get 1, and that at least lets us get down a blocker. They play out a mob boss. It's a bit more life for us. And they decide to hold off since they don't want to lose any men. That's nothing but good for us. We'll take the extra turn. The Pyroclasm is something we can fire off, but let's hold on to it for now. We'll play another Vitality and wait for them to come rolling in. They tap the mob boss and make a pile of tokens, each of which is worth 3 life. That gets our angels to 4/4. Here comes the team. We'll block up and let a pair of tokens through. They fire off more Goblin Pump, and we'll trade, but we keep 1 angel. It's definitely time for some Pyromania. If only we could clear out all their men with the Brotherhood's end. It's time for Pyro. That's the first time it's swept the opponent's board. We'll be fine trading blows the rest of the game. No, wait. they give it up. GG's Rich Moss. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.